Hello everyone. Yes, it's me again. My name is Apple and my Chinese name is Li. And today I'm going to talk about an article in a book called Teaching in Action, Chapter 6, Management of Large Classes. As I know, when I was studying in the elementary school 10 years ago, we have about 34 students in each classes, and also 10 to 13 classes in each grade. But in today's elementary school, there are fewer and fewer students in one class, and fewer classes in each grade. As far as I know, there are only 25 to 29 students in one class and about 6 to 7 classes in one grade. But nearly 40 years ago, there were large classes in the elementary school. There were almost 50 to 60 people in one class. So teachers need to teach in a large class. So in this article, the author will teach you how to manage in a large class. And I will divide this article into 4 parts: context, problem the teacher faced, the solution they tried, and last, the comments by Jerry Master. This article is written by Nancy Moore. I think the author may be a she due to the name, but who knows? So I will call she in this video. Who has an MA in TESOL, Master of Arts in Teaching English as a Second Language, and has 16 years of experience teaching ESL or EFL in Japan. And ESL means that people who use English as a second language. For example, Finland, Singapore, and Netherlands. And the meaning of EFL is people who use English as a foreign language. For example, as we are familiar with South Korea, Japan, and Taiwan. First of all, I will talk about the context part. The author had mentioned that during her 4 years of studying liberal arts college in Japan, she found herself was teaching classes of 50 to 60 students rather than 25 to 30 students that the author had been accustomed to. She teaches 5 classes. 2 of these were conversation classes in the regular classrooms, and 3 classes were the computer-assisted courses in a computer lab with 3 double banks of monitors, which will block every student's eye contact. So, talking to the whole classes at once became particularly impossible because you don't know what student is actually doing. Second, I will talk about the problem that large classes face. Teachers' administrative procedures include 3 parts: the required taking of attendance, returning and collecting students' work, and also communicating individually students as needed. In the author's personal experience, she said that she had been dissatisfied with her handling of such jobs because she thinks that calling the roll call in a large class seemed to waste of time. So she had passed a paper around the class for students to sign their names on. But doing this need to transfer the results into her roll book. But this is a time-consuming work because she didn't like her student to sit in an alphabetical order, and she will sometimes forget to pass the attendance sheet. She is also dissatisfied with the time she needs to collect and return the work back to students. She has tried to ask several students to help her hand back work at the start of the class. But this takes considerable time because when giving back the work, the noise and the movement made it difficult for teachers to teach or practice activities to occur at the same time. Because students might not listen to what their teacher was saying and just talk to their classmates. Due to this problem, the time of returning homework back became a dead time because teachers need to stop doing things and wait until they finish passing their homework. If there is people coming to class late, he or she might miss getting their work back and cannot concentrate in class. The extra problem is that with regard to consulting, trying to connect in her memory names or faces to individual problems. Because lack of this knowledge, it's hard for the teacher to identify people with whom teacher need to consult was difficult for them. She feels that people were lost in the shuffle. Unfortunately, when students see that a class is poorly managed, their desire to be conscientious can be suffer from it and start to sleep in class. Third, I will talk about the solution that the author gave. Because the prospect of 5 large classes in the coming year forced her to reconsider class management questions. She had set up an administrative group of 4 to 6 people, and going right down to the class list in alphabetical order. In each group, they will have a file which is easy addition and pages that is easy to remove. They also need to choose a file manager. Students need to set up their file at the beginning of the year, and each file needs to contain 3 things. The first is a group picture that she takes in the first day of the class, labeled with the students' names. Second is the attendance record and the days of class. Third is a work record with names across the top and space for titles of assignments on the side. When a work assigned, group managers added the titles to the work record. During the week between classes, she pulled from each file that is completed homework and out it in the work that she had looked at. Recording grades from students' work was faster because the papers were in alphabetical order. Handouts were placed in the file beforehand or passed out in class. People who were late or absent had their handouts or their previously returned homework waiting for them in their group file when they come to class next time. She started going over absence notations in ink when glancing at the attendance page when one student had retroactively added his attendance record. When students came into the class, the file manager will pick up their group file, and after picking up the file, they will be gathered around its file, recording the attendance and checking off work completed, getting their own papers from the file, and looking at the comments. Before leaving class, they will put a new work they complete in class into the file. Students responded either in writing or in person after class. She found out the amount of individual consultation has increased. She also found out that this approach to management procedures consumed less class time, resulted in more frequent communication with individual students. Students saw that she was doing her job by closely following their individual progress, and they were encouraged to be conscientious in their school work. Last but not least, I will talk about the comments by Jerry Master. Jerry Master is a director of the Language Center at an university in Australia. He has worked as a language teacher and TESOL teacher educator for more than 25 years at universities in New Zealand, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and most Australia. He also published research has been in the area of vocabulary. The context and the problem highlights the difficulties faced by many teachers in trying to implement a communicative approach with large groups of monolingual learners of a foreign language. Even when learners articulate goals that seem to be consistent with communicative language teaching, the author also encountered that by including the initial embarrassment of the learners, the fact that in monolingual classrooms, many prescriptive communicative practices, such as peer work and group work, are no more real as learner activities than grammar translation or pattern practice drills were. The solutions of the author combine greater learner autonomy with clear step-by-step instruction and with a recognition of the significance of feedback in communication. These solutions, like greater learner autonomy, clear prescriptive steps for learning the roles required in communication, and clear thinking about what is involved in communication, will be generalizable to many situations where teachers reflect constructively on the failure of more vague communicative procedures. After reading this chapter, I think that if I have a chance to choose whether to teach in a small class or a large class, I will choose to teach in a small class because there are less students, and I think if I teach in a large class, I will have no patience to the students and don't have enough time to always concerned with the students. I don't want the student to do bad things just because they just want the teacher to concern them. But if I teach in a small class, I can concern them easily. And that's all I want to say. Thank you for your listening. See you next time. Bye.